We are back for the second time in the month of May. The Mazda Road to Indy returns to beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. Indy Lights is right here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
And USF 2000 and Pro Mazda are here in Lucas Oil Raceway. But first, let's go with you, Joel, and the news.
With the Grand Prix of Indianapolis already in the books, the drivers are familiar with the city. But this time around is a totally new challenge. This is the first weekend at an oval during the 2015 season. Teams have tested on ovals before, but actually racing on them is a unique, challenging experience.
So you're right up against the wall on entry, right up against the wall on exit.
You have to have a good car, so feedback to your engineer is key. On an oval, if the car's loose, come in, you got to make a change to get it better.
It's definitely a challenge. It's an iconic place. Definitely getting used to running in traffic in the turbulent air is very, very difficult.
Mario Andretti actually told me today was everything you do on the oval at 200 miles an hour is just magnifying. So you have to just be really careful, and you know, it's the key is comfort.
You know, you really got to be precise, and you really got to have a good feeling in order to tell you where you got to place the car in the corners and learn and take away from what you learned the last lap and present it later on in the race when it matters.
The realization of the faster you go into a corner, the more downforce you have, you get more grip by entering a corner faster, and it's quite a big hurdle to get around.
The Freedom 100 isn't just the first oval race of the season, it's another first on a much bigger historical scale. This is the first Mazda-powered race in the history of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The IL-15 made its mark right away. Ethan Ringel started on pole, and in doing so, obliterated the track record 2-lap qualifying average for the series. His pole average of over 197.6 miles per hour eclipsed the old mark by over 7 miles per hour.
Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm here with Peter Dempsey, and Peter, you've raced here once or twice before. Take us back to 2013. Freedom 100, final lap, final couple of yards really of the race. What happened? Talk us through it.
Oh, I mean, it was a tough race for me. I was kind of hanging in there. We were a little bit short on 6th gear, so we're on the limiter, and I couldn't really get a run on anyone. But the last lap came, and in fairness, my two spotters, Stefan and Bobby, were like, just be patient, And I remember there was enough room for me to squeeze by in between Chavez and the wall. And in 6th gear, I was a little too short all the race. Turned out perfect because it just dragged me all the way to the line. And special moment, I think, in my career, obviously, and even for the Indy Lights series, it really put us on the map, I think, across the world. So.
All right, but now I want to switch gears, because obviously Peter is a winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm not, and I want to change that. So right now, Peter, I'm going to invite you to a little running race. We're going to walk up about 20 yards, we're going to go for a quick dash, and hopefully I'll be a winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I'm a winner! Yes! Woo! Yeah, that's one of the few times I've had a chance to beat Peter Dempsey. But Peter, thank you so much, all the best of luck, and we'll see what you got this afternoon.
All right, guys, cheers.
So now let's talk about the term contrast. We just came from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a 2.5-mile super speedway, but now we're not at the yard of bricks anymore, we're at the yard of different types of paint.
Questionable, a lot of
like
heritage under this paint, I'll say.
Anywho, we're at the Lucas Oil Raceway, 5/8 of a mile, and who better to talk to than Garrett Grist, who won this race the night before the 500 last year. And Garrett, talk to me about what's this track all about.
This track is tough for sure. Out of all the ovals, you know, a lot of teams go to Gresham to test on that, and that's a lower line. Here, you get here, you run the high line, you run very close to the wall, and you know, a lot less margin for error here, especially being that close to the wall. But no, it's all about, you know, who can keep their foot in it the most and carry the most momentum around here.
So who are we going to see win the Freedom 90 race tomorrow?
I hope I can go 2 years in a row. That'd be awesome. You know, last year we obviously had a lot of success here, being able to lead every lap of the race. But this year I think, you know, it'll be a bit more tough, but I think we can do it.
Okay, so now I'm going to challenge my friend Garrett Grist here, the same challenge that I did for Peter Dempsey. Peter Dempsey is a race winner at the IMS. He's a winner at Lucas Oil Raceway. So Garrett, what I'm going to do right now, since you are a race winner here and I'm not, I would like to become a race winner here, is just to have a quick sprint here for a few yards, just for me to have the opportunity to beat you in a race at Lucas Oil.
Look at the shoe. I can't run. My shoes aren't even tied up.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. No. I just did the double. 2 race wins in Indianapolis in one day. Kurt Busch ain't got nothing on me. I just did the true double.
I'm here with Gary Neal from A-Star Motorsport to learn about the team, how it was created, and what made you guys join the Indy Lights.
Well, the team was formed 3 years ago by Enzo Podalicchio, a gentleman driver into the Sports Car Championship. He had an open world career many years ago, and my engineer and myself both came from IndyCar. We just transitioned to sports cars, so we said, hey, this new car looks really interesting, the series is strong, and it's the step to IndyCar, so can we look at it? It's been a challenge, we've missed a couple of races, but fingers crossed we can get the rest of the season in.
So how many people travel with you? What is the team? Is it a big team, a small team?
Honestly, we're probably the smallest team in the paddock. I have my engineer, myself as team manager, and gearbox mechanic, and logistics guy, and crew chief, and then I have a flying mechanic and a part-time transport driver. But yeah, we got probably between us 50 years of racing experience in F1, IndyCar, sports cars. So yeah, we got a combination of good, menu of items to choose from.
It was pretty impressive to see you guys win in the Indianapolis Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. How was that feeling as a brand new team and score a win?
It was amazing, actually. Really big reward for the effort, especially since Sean had only done one race in the car prior to that at Barber. He surprised us and everybody else, but we knew we had it, we just didn't know when it would come out. We tested with Scott Hargrove, who's another great talent. Our ideal team would be Scott Hargrove, Sean Rahal. Being a two-car team makes financial sense. The trailer's pretty empty with one car.
Now, what is the team plan for the rest of the season and years to come?
The rest of the season, yeah, at least one car. We probably missed the 2 short ovals just for the risk factor, and we're not in the championship right now. But really to solidify the plans for next year and get a program together with 2 cars.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. I hope to see you guys the rest of the season and next year with 2 cars.
Yep, thank you.
Hey guys, you found us. We're at one of the iconic pubs here in Indianapolis. Kind of a 500 tradition. It's Union Jacks, and I've got a couple of drivers here from Pro Mazda, Raoul Owens, and from the Indy Light Series, Juan Piedrahita. Guys, get a chance to kind of hang out a little bit here, get to know you a little bit. Raoul, what do you do between races?
Well, I mean, normally in the shorter period of time, I just go home back to Boston and do some gym training and just general stuff and hang out with some friends. And then in the big breaks, I like to try and get back to South Africa when I can, because my parents are there, so it's a nice place to go back to for a few weeks and just unwind and like get into a different environment. And then it's just nice to have a big chunk, a big spell there, and then come back for the racing.
Let's talk a little bit about how you can exercise your mind as well. I know you do a lot of stuff with computers, you're into that kind of thing. Tell us about that a little bit.
Well, I'm into computer games a lot. I do play them quite a bit at home. I'm into technology, like a lot into technology, phones, like laptops, all that stuff. I like all the geeky bits of it. So just a little hobby or something interest of mine.
Let's move over to Juan. What do you do? What's your passion?
I like soccer. I actually was going to be a soccer player, but I choose racing. But like when I go back to Colombia, I like to play soccer with my friends and just everything about soccer, worldwide basically.
I gotta ask you, do you have a favorite team?
Real Madrid, Spain.
Okay.
It's my favorite team. Chelsea and Colombia, obviously.
Yeah, when the World Cup comes around, you're probably pretty happy. We talk about challenges, and one of the challenges is trying to have a relationship when you're a race car driver. How does it work? Do you have a girlfriend?
Yes, I do. That's actually the reason why I live in Boston. Yeah, she's studying at Northeastern University, so yeah, I mean, balancing it is difficult because time required for both relationship and racing is obviously a lot.
Very true.
And yeah, so I mean, it is tough, but I mean, I guess you just have to deal with it and balance it how you can.
Obviously, the #1 question, is she a racing fan?
She wasn't, but I feel that she's getting more into it now that I've introduced her to it a little bit.
Have you borrowed a couple races? Or?
Yeah, she came to the last race with the Indy Road course, and she enjoyed it. It's a nice atmosphere with being on the IndyCar weekend as well. There's a lot of hustle and bustle in the paddock and there's stuff to do. So yeah, I think she enjoyed it.
And then Juan, what about you? You come through the ranks, you've been here for a while, living in Indianapolis. What about you? Do you have a girlfriend?
I do. I do have a girlfriend. She's an Indiana girl, so...
She's an Indiana girl?
She likes racing, I guess.
Yeah. I think she probably does.
Yeah.
Good smile, though, on his face. Where did you meet her?
Tinder.
In what?
You know what Tinder
On
is?
Tinder?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yes, good for you.
Yeah, I told my dad I told my parents a different story though, because yeah.
Well, it's going to come out now.
Yeah.
Is she there for you a lot?
Yeah, she's going almost to all the races, so yeah, she's part of the family, so it's pretty good.
You like that? All right. Yeah. That's a wrap here from the AJ Foyt room at the iconic Union Jack's restaurant here in Indianapolis. Had a great opportunity to sit down with two of the amazing young drivers here on the Mazda Road to Indy. Of course, Raoul Owens and Juan Piedrahita. Again, we love being able to bring you some more insight in these young drivers. Back to you guys, a lot more to come here.
The Freedom 100 is the highlight of the Indy Light season. On the opening lap, Jack Harvey took the lead in the first corner, but Ethan Ringel wouldn't let him keep it for long and dared to go around the outside to take it back on lap 2. For most of the 40-lap race, Harvey and Ringel traded the lead back and forth. Behind them, Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports teammates R.C. Enerson and Scott Anderson followed close behind. Anderson worked his way into third place but couldn't climb any higher. As the top four tightened in the closing laps, trouble in turn 4 for Ed Jones. That crash brought out the yellow flag, and with the race unable to restart, it finished under yellow with Jack Harvey holding off Ethan Ringel and a 1-2-3-4 Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports finish.
It's definitely a bucket list sort of place. I know it's not IndyCar and the 500, but certainly, you know, it certainly feels like that right now. It's the biggest win of my career. I said it to the guys yesterday. If we could win, that would be great. The goal was to win in the Grand Prix and the Freedom 100. We can tick both of them off this season. And you know, I wanted to come out of the month of May leading the championship. We've done that. Now I want to finish the season as a champion. So I just can't explain how happy I am.
Our team has done a hell of a job. This was our 8th Freedom 100 race and win. And the guys just put literally hundreds and hundreds of hours into shaping these cars for this race. So it really proved out today. It's our second 1-2-3-4 as a team ever. But to have it be done here on a day like today with this many people here, the lead swaps. I mean, I wish it would have ended under green, but still a fantastic day.
On Saturday afternoon, Road to Indy went down the street to visit Lucas Oil Raceway, beginning with the USF 2000 Freedom 75. Points leader Nico Jamin started on pole, but Jake Edson leaped to the lead in the first turn. The top three checked out in the rest of the field, but lap traffic reeled them back in together. Jamin stayed close to Edson, but Edson was flawless. He took the checkered flag, leading every lap over Jamin and Aaron Telitz.
Overall, you know, it was a really stressful race, really long race, but I knew passing was going to be really tough, so I knew how to get a good start, which we did. It all worked out really well, so I mean, in hindsight, there really wasn't that much I would have wished to change, so yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled.
Pro Mazda finished off the day with an action-packed 90-lap race. Andretti Autosport's Wear-On Tan and Dalton Kellett locked out the front row. Tan soared away to the lead, but Kellett's day did not go as planned. First, he brushed the wall exiting turn 4 on the first lap, falling back to 7th, and things got even worse. Timothe Buret got into the back of Kellett in turn 3, collecting Pelfrey's Raoul Owens. It was a hard hit for all three. They walked away, but none could finish the race. Bad luck for points leader Santi Arrudia, too. He retired from the race under caution. Once back to green, Neil Alberico continued his charge into the top three. He moved through traffic to take third place from Florian Latour. Out front, though, Tan fended off a late push by Will Owen to score the victory in his first career oval race.
This year was my first time on a street course, first time on an oval, and it was a real challenge for me. I think it's a great experience though, you know, having to drive 3 different kinds of circuits, and it does improve me as a driver in terms of you know, being a better driver in whole.
Joel, we are about to experience the last race of the month of May.
There is nothing else like it in the world. The greatest spectacle in racing, perhaps even in all of sports, the Indianapolis 500. There's over 300,000 people here this weekend. We've wrapped it all up with Road to Indy.
Absolutely. Now we're going all the way to Toronto, Canada for the next round of the Mazda Road to Indy.
Let's leave the microphones here. Let's grab a seat. We'll see you in Toronto.